I guess everybody can hear me. I'm live. This is cool. All right. Okay, everybody. I think I'm live. Come and say hi. And Josh and I hung out earlier tonight. Um, so this is what we're looking at right here is Hurricane Isaias on the Charleston, South Carolina radar. I'm going to change the radar over to Wilmington here. So those of you just joining me, I see 3 people right now. Hi, it's meteorologist Mike Griffith. It's 10:03 p.m. on Monday, August 3rd, and we're looking at Isaias on radar right now. Let me switch over to the correct radar screen here. Wow, OBS Studio is using a ton of resources. So I'm glad we got an Apple product here because it's going to be pretty smooth. No problems yet. No problems so far. This is definitely making the Mac slow though, this live broadcast. It's like I'm running my own radio tower, but it's in my apartment in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Let's switch over here, if we can, to the Wilmington, North Carolina radar. Right now there's a tornado warning out for the actual town of Wilmington itself. They're included in this, and they were in one earlier. It seems like they either were in the same one or another one just gets issued right behind it. So that's going to be a big issue for the next like 2 or 3 hours or so. These tornadoes that are going to be coming on shore. I saw somewhere in one of my chat groups that we have 135 mile an hour winds at 2,000 feet or somewhere above the ocean water, not at the surface. So this is going to be coming ashore. Looks like near Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach or Sunset Beach, right there in South Carolina, not too far away from the state line, as Wilmington and all the suburbs for there are not too far away from North Myrtle Beach, maybe like an hour if you consider an hour drive far away. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at right now as this storm comes ashore tonight, making landfall. It's going to be pretty bad. I think this intensifying at the last minute is not good. So, that's what we're looking at right here. Let's go with the overall velocity. We can see the eye wall is really formed here. So this could be a decent Category 2 hurricane. Let me go over here and see how let's see here. I'm talking to somebody back home that he's up in Pennsylvania, and he's worried about the stuff coming tomorrow. I'll show you right here. Well, let's see here if I can only get my Mac to minimize this, and I can show this. This is pretty much something that's going to be outdated, and you can see some of my friends' comments. But looking like it's going to be probably more than a 75-mile-an-hour Monday evening storm. This is a forecast that was probably yesterday or last night, and it's going to be coming, making landfall right in this area right here. Probably as 90-mile-an-hour storm. So it's close to be. It's almost pushing a Category 2, where it could be a Category 2. And then that rides through the cone all the way up to Canada eventually. So tropical storm conditions are possible in Maine and New Hampshire and New England as early as tomorrow. So it's gonna get windy out there. It's gonna get really windy. Hey, people, or guests, I should say, not people. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there and to your right and down on this live video. And go ahead and subscribe. It helps us out. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just makes it so our videos are more easily viewable by you when you log into our channel on YouTube. So let's see here. Radar is measuring 115 mile an hour wind, 1,000 feet off the ground. It's probably a Cat 2 now. Okay. Definitely going to be stronger. We said a Cat 2 last night, but we caught all sorts of flack from followers. Just crazy amounts of trolls out there that just really said, hey, you guys are fear-mongering, you're crazy, but no, it's probably going to be a Category 2. Share this link out to your friends. We're live right now, so it's almost like watching TV in a sense, or radio, if you will. It's got both here. So looking at the post on the page 13 minutes ago here from Josh. Let me hide my personal stuff. Thank you very much. So 95 mile an hour surface wind. It takes 96 mile an hour wind to be a Category 2. We said Category 2 yesterday. Hey, Jacqueline, how's it going? So I see you just logged in right here. So hurricane hunters just flew into the storm, and they're actually going with 95 mile an hour wind surface. That's Bald Head Island. That's in North Carolina, and that's I believe to the north and east of Wilmington as you go up the coast towards the Outer Banks. And yeah, now that's possible. So Josh has another live stream earlier, so check that one out. Let's see what else we got right here. The latest hurricane update. Again, you can look on, if you need to have YouTube open in your own tab on your app, or else it's going to stop playing. But I'm looking through the page here for you all in case you missed anything at all. This is like the Hurricane Hunter. What this is, it's a 4-engine turboprop aircraft that flies through the weather, and it goes in through the center of the storm and right through the eye and out through the other side. And it's pretty amazing how that happens. But they run into a ton of turbulence, and I've seen videos. Haven't flown in it myself, but I've seen videos where the pilot has to strap on some gloves to take a hold of the wheel so that it doesn't slip out of his hands. That's how turbulent it gets going through those storms. So they found 85 mile an hour winds with higher gusts. Right now, that's what's going to be happening pretty much along the south side of Wilmington tonight. Oak Island, Holden Beach. Those are going to be some pretty. Bad spots. Wrightsville Beach, I think that's where Jim Cantori is, so they're going to see some interesting activity down there. But yes, that wind is going to extend. This is one of our articles. By the way, if you already have it, make sure that you please just go ahead and click this. Share this link out to your friends or anybody who you think would be interested in Isaias tonight. So it looks like the worst is going to be right there, according to our latest article, is on the page, is going to be just to the north and east of the eye of the storm as it comes ashore, right over here. So the eye wall and the northeast quadrant is going to be bad. There's already some tornado warnings out for Wilmington right now. As we can see on radar, this is an impressive wind getting ready to come ashore, and it looks like this thing is just going to keep going up, and Oak Island is going to be right in the the path of this thing. It sticks out, so it's not surprising. I mean, if you back out, look at this. Look how it just like sticks out over the water, and you're actually looking. I've been to Oak Island. I have good friends that I've known for years that have a vacation home there, and you're actually looking south when you're in Oak Island and you're on the beach, and you're sitting on the beach at a house on the back deck, and you're looking out over the water. That's actually looking due south. Really nice little town. So hate to see this wind about to rip through there. It's going to do some damage. Some roofs are going to come off. There's going to be some siding missing. There's going to be some basic, maybe some complicated, damage here in Oak Island, Bald Head Island. It's going to Southport, St. James, Varnum Town. I've never even heard of that. That's probably one of those little gas stations on one of the back roads here. Of course, it's a town. You got Shallotte. There's the radar site right there for Wilmington National Weather Service. So it's not too far away for them to drive to. In fact, that might be where they are. I'm not sure how they do it. Holden Beach is going to be there. So it looks like the Jim Cantori is going to miss the worst of it. Jim Cantori's in Wrightsville Beach. He's not going to be too far. He's not going to be too far away. I think. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's down in here somewhere. I think. I've been there before, and that's where Jim is. Cute little beach. These nice little towns. They're going to get tore up here, especially by this blast of oncoming like 90-mile-an-hour wind here. That's going to be heading right for Oak Island. All those nice vacation homes up on stilts. Well, I mean, the storm surge will probably make sure that they'll make sure they're okay with the stilts because of the flooding and all that in the storm surge, but there's still going to be structural damage to the roofs because of the winds there. So that's some really decent winds right there about to come on shore into Oak Island. So if you're in Oak Island, get ready for this. If you're in Southport, get ready for this. Wrightsville Beach, Bald Head Island, Varnum Town, Holden Beach. Okay, and those places are going to get blasted. And look at this over here. This is the outflow or the flow back into the storm. And we're looking at North Myrtle Beach is getting hit pretty good right now. There's some other stations out there. There's some other channels. So we all want to watch some of those too. Carolina Weather. His name is Mitch. I'm not going to say Mitch Williams, but Mitchell, I think is his name. It might be. Okay. Let's see. Let's get back over here to the page. By the way, I'm showing you the winds right now in the Isaias. These are impressive. North and South Carolina, North Myrtle Beach, Atlantic Beach, and never heard of this place. Myrtle Beach is a little bit farther away from the center of this. They might have got blasted earlier. Josh might have covered that if they actually did. Carolina Shore is getting it right now. Little River, North Myrtle Beach, Atlantic Beach once again. And as we come over here, these places are about to get hit. Oak Island is going to get blasted over here. These are winds coming onto shore. So it's just going to be a big old surge right in this whole area right here. It's not going to be good for them. Let's see. Let's stop it right. Well, we can stop it right there. So Oak Island, this whole area right in here, with this big blue area of strong onshore winds, is just going to be these towns right in here, especially on the beachfront. There's going to be the brunt of the damage. It's going to get pretty insane there in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. So if you're not already hunkered down, definitely make sure you are, especially if you're in those North Carolina towns right there of Oak Island, Holden Beach, Wrightsville Beach, Southport, Bald Head Island. Those are the places that you pretty much don't want to be right now. Let's see here. Yeah, Josh, Oak Island looks to be ground zero for this storm, so it's not going to be good for those. Wilmington, you're not out of the hook. You're definitely under a tornado warning right now. So let's switch over to the regular radar here. Let's get rid of this and let's go with this is what I like to use. So it's a very, very stormy night out there. Obviously, the wind is probably howling in Wilmington. Well, the wind is probably howling in this area right here, but Wilmington is going to be not in a good spot either, especially this eye wall comes ashore and comes right over top of Wilmington from Oak Island, or even like a western suburb right up through there. So if you're on 17 tonight, get off it. You don't want to be on it. You want to hunker down and stay safe. You don't want to be driving out on any interstates. If you're on 40, get off it. Pull over or go somewhere to like some kind of shelter. You don't want to be out driving on the roads in this mess tonight. Definitely don't want to be Superman and think you can outdrive a hurricane because you can't see. The rain's going to be so hard and the wind is going to be blowing so much. It's going to take that rain. It's going to just make it really, really hard to see. So let's go back over here to, let's see here. Let's just check some messages. Okay, just checking some messages, not much. So please subscribe to this live video on the bottom right on your screen right there. It should be something that says subscribe. Go ahead and click on that, and you help us out a lot. So definitely make sure you give us a subscribe down there and hit that subscribe button. Let's see, what else do we got going on tonight here? Let's go to our page and bring that on over here once again. So let's see if Josh actually said anything. So if there's any profanity in that message, I'm sorry. My friends are a little nuts, just like me. If you know me personally. So let's see. We got anything else new? No, not really. Just looking at the actual YouTube link over here. Let's bring the radar back up. Let's see if we can get our website over here. Of course. First of all, let's bring over the National Weather Service. Okay. So it actually is a hurricane. Winds 75 knots, 85 miles an hour. And this is what we're looking at right now. Hurricane warnings are posted for anywhere from Pawleys Island all the way up to probably Bald Head Island in North Carolina. So, but there's going to be more than 75-mile-an-hour winds. It's going to be bad. There's going to be some 90-mile-an-hour winds here. This is as of the 8 p.m. advisory. They don't want you to look at this line. This line is like the center of the cone, and it might actually be something else. Other than the center of the cone. Let's see here. John Troup. I'm sorry, Troop maybe. I don't see where your question is on the live chat. So definitely try to see if you can hit a live chat button and use that. That way, at least I'll see it. Looks like the video resolution might not be great right now. I don't know if it is or not, but I have a good connection, so I'm not worried about it. Green light's over here. So this storm moves up into southeast Virginia by noon tomorrow. Before then, probably, maybe right around then, it's just going to race off into New England and up into Canada as a depression. This thing could be a tropical storm up in New Hampshire. I used to live up here in Plymouth. Went to Plymouth State University. Really great school. Lots of fun. Lots of cool people. Lots of outdoors. I would do it all over again if I could. But this could be a tropical storm all the way up to almost the U.S.-Canadian border. Well, I don't know if they say A in Quebec. They might say, Montreal. It's French up here. In northern Vermont, everything is in Saint, like the St. John's, Saint this, Saint that, all the town names in Vermont. But anyway, it's going to be worse than a 75-mile-an-hour storm with what they have here in the National Hurricane Center. So for some reason I can't highlight that, but I mean that's what it's going to be worse than. It's going to be worse than 75 miles an hour. Again, this is as of 8 p.m. So let's see if we can get this on satellite right here. And I'm going to try to bring him up on satellite. Just give me one moment here. Britannia, the Sandhills, it's going to be worse than it actually was. You're going to be getting some stronger winds later tonight into tomorrow morning, so expect those. Hey, Austin and Wilmington, yeah, man, it's there's a tornado warning tornado warning out for Wilmington right now. Well, just on the edge, but there was earlier. So very nasty night there. Austin, McCabe, and Wilmington. You can expect probably a lot more warnings going up before sunrise. It should be out of there in this area by sunrise, but the next 4 or 5 hours or so are going to be pretty intense with the tornadoes possibly touching down here. Special marine warnings all over the place. That's what these polygons are, extending all the way across Emerald Isle. So just not really the best conditions out here tonight. You don't want to be out. You want to be home, sheltered in with the flashlights ready to go. Heather, yes, there is going to be Jacksonville tornado possibilities because this side of the storm right here is the worst side to be on as far as tornadoes and the highest winds and storm surge and all that. You don't want to be anywhere up in here. Okay, and look at that. Jacksonville is right there. So, I mean, yeah, it is going to get kind of nasty there tonight, so just be ready for that. My live other meteorologist here on the page, Josh, I wish we could both go live. We might be able to. I might be able to get him on a messenger call, but I think he's been busting his hump in the last 3 hours or so, so I'm taking over right now. So, tornado confirmed near Leland. I would say that's extreme impacts. I don't know about you, but I definitely would. And we actually had some of that on the article that we wrote. In fact, let's go to our website here. And no, I'm not going to go as an admin. I don't want you seeing the back end of my page, but we did actually say, I think Josh had this, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go over there. And he had the graphic that I made for him and threw it up there. Stay with me. Lots of posts. Tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m. for this area in here. That's where you're seeing the warnings going up. This is borderline. Well, Jacksonville doesn't look like they're in it, but they're going to get. This watch is going to be expanded. Probably they're going to add counties to it as they see fit, and there could be some more counties added, maybe along the coast in here. So Jacksonville is definitely one of those places that's included with that. So let's see, what are we looking at here? Oh, we're looking at something from yesterday that what we were calling confirmed tornado in where was that again? Leland, which is a little town to the south. And Leland's right in here. Oh, well, that's the highest winds. Yeah, that works. But I think it was yesterday that we said extreme impacts right here in Leland. And there was this lady that said, why extreme impacts for Leland? Well, a tornado touched down there tonight, so we think that's kind of extreme. When these storms hit, we know what we're talking about as far as what part of the storm is going to be the worst. I mean, this is all damaging wind coming on shore right here in Wilmington. There's tornado warnings, probably more touchdowns than just the one in Leland, North Carolina, which is south of Wilmington. So there was a tornado there. So we said extreme impacts, and that's why it's there. Do us a favor. Please hit the subscribe button at the bottom right corner of this screen. You should see a button that says subscribe. If it says subscribe, go ahead and hit that. If it says subscribed, we thank you very much for being a part of that. Deborah Robinson, Rocky Mount. So you're farther up in here. Let's go back to the web page. Now this is CarolinaWXAuthority.com. So please make sure that you go to this site and give us a visit, looking around at all our stuff. So Rocky Mount is going to be in this article right here, which we posted. We post all our articles on the page. So make sure you come over here and take a look at these because they do tell a lot. Rocky Mount's going to be having major impacts tonight, Deborah Robinson, because you're just going to be right in the path of this storm. So it's decaying or dying eye wall is going to come out of the land that's going to come maybe even really close to Rocky Mountain. I mean, it might come really, really close. Heather Hayes, if you have a smartphone, Heather Hayes, then it should be automatic through the Nationwide Emergency Alert Network or Emergency Broadcast System. So it should be automatic. I don't think you need an app to have any tornado warnings. If you have a smartphone, I don't know what type of phone you have. If it's a track phone, it might not receive that alert. But if you have a major carrier, like a major network carrier like Sprint, or it's T-Mobile now, or Verizon, or AT&T, you should get those emergency alerts through like the major network providers. That's as far as I know. You shouldn't have to do anything. It should be automatic. But if it's not a smartphone, I can't guarantee that it is going to be automatic. So we're going to say, we said winds of 60 miles an hour. It's going to be more than that. It's going to be probably winds close to 90 miles an hour, especially down here on the beach. Taking a really cool look at the storm right now as sunset occurred. This is actually the line of sunset moving across the planet, and we see it before sunset and we see it after. It's a pretty cool transition. So here he is right here, and some convection is still kind of blowing up a little bit, so he's going to strengthen all the way up until he starts to make landfall, probably up around this area. This image might be a little bit outdated, or it might just not look the same on satellite as it does on radar, which is always possible. Oh, okay, yeah. So Tamara, Deborah. Okay, so that's Josh's wife, and yes, he is always swamped, and he helps out a lot with this page too. So the only thing I can do is take away some of the pain and bear some of it myself. But I'm very happy to. Let's look at the overall large radar picture right now. So this is just a more zoomed out view, but looking like Wilmington and Oak Island are going to be pretty hard hit tonight. Let's see, the eye is right now, it's over. It's just coming over the Wilmington, North Carolina radar. So this radar site is getting pounded by high winds and rain right now. Let's hope that the radar doesn't go out. That would be something else. If the Wilmington radar goes out because the hurricane took it out, that'd be definitely be a news headline. I think that would be newsworthy. National Weather Service radar gets taken out by Hurricane Isaias. See, there's only that Latin twist on that word. It's a beautiful name. Of course, not trying to say anything since I'm a guy. Nope, don't go that way. Okay, Lisa Forrest, southeast side of Raleigh. Yep, you're going to be impacted on this. It's not going to get terrible, but it will be bad. You're going to get some decent winds out of this storm. So let's see. Let's take a look right now and see what's going on with Twitter. Let's see, what do we got going on here? This is my Twitter, and I just made it straight up weather stuff only. So, yep, here's another good picture from Channel 9, which is here in Charlotte. Very close to landfall. Let's see, we got a whole bunch of other random stuff here. Another good people to follow is Charleston Weather. If you like tropical, you can follow the pages that are along the shore, along the beaches. Charleston Weather is a decent guy. I like him. Let's see what else. Anything else here stands out in weather Twitter tonight? This is a lot of the weather stuff across Twitter here in the Carolinas. So look at this. Here's a decent video. This is by Eric Webb. He's in the middle of the hurricane. Here's some. Wow. So it looks like these fellows are having a good time here out in the middle of the hurricane. This is Eric Webb, and I don't know where he is exactly. So some people out here filming tonight, some storm chasers out there. Gust to 83 mile an hour on Oak Island 4 minutes ago. So that's that makes sense. It's a 75 mile an hour Category 1 hurricane, but there could be some stronger stuff coming through. Let me know if you're not able to get to this live stream. we make sure you share it out and make it so other people will see that we're live, and they'll come out and they'll join our live video right now. So let's see if anybody else. I didn't mean to give you a seizure there. Sorry. So yeah. Okay, let's see. We got 10 viewers right now. Go ahead and say hi in the live chat if you're one of the current viewers, just so we can see who everybody out here is. But I'm just kind of chilling at home. There's Ocean Boulevard, North Myrtle Beach. And this is North Myrtle Beach. Pretty insane. So as you can see, some really great videos coming out there live tonight. Seeing all kinds of storm chaser videos being posted, so this is awesome. It's really awesome for the guys out there getting into the action. This is going to be bad all the way up to New England, this whole big storm. It's going to cover a lot of real estate. So Raleigh will be impacted by this, probably Richmond, Hampton Roads, anything that's past, maybe even DC will get in on this, all the way up to southeastern Pennsylvania, especially Philadelphia, up into New England. It's almost like it's going to ride I-95 all the way up to New England. So there's a tornado that touched down in Leland earlier tonight. I think Josh was saying it's actually a confirmed touchdown there in Leland. So definitely extreme impacts being felt in this little area right here around Leland, south of Wilmington, not too far away from the coastal highway, which is 17. And that basically goes up and down the whole coast of North Carolina. So there's a look at the radar of the tornado. That might have been a debris ball moving through there. It's high-res correlation coefficient. So I mean, you're looking at material there moving through Leland. That looks like it's looks pretty bad. Don't think that that's a good thing for the people of Leland. Here's the Myrtle Beach wind forecast tonight. Thanks to our buddy Ed Piotrowski down there in Myrtle Beach. This is the Myrtle Beach wind forecast. The worst is going to be tonight at around 11 p.m. So we have about another half an hour, and the wind should start to die down after that there in Myrtle Beach. So there's going to be a really small window of the worst weather coming through Virginia, especially southeastern Virginia. 86 mile an hour wind gust just reported on Oak Island is what Josh is telling me right now. So that's pretty significant. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button at the bottom right part of the video and help us out. Help us get to our viewers. So definitely share this. I'm going to hang out a little bit. Looks like we have 10 viewers. So this is what we're looking at right now, is the actual wind forecast for Myrtle Beach. Let's get out of here and let's do some more scrolling. So the dunes are breaching in Garden City. I think that's somewhere around the Myrtle Beach area. We're looking at some live street flooding right now. And I think that's, I'm not sure if that's North or South Carolina where this live picture is coming out of right now. Hey Josh, does this logo look familiar? It does to me, buddy. Not as long as you, but it looks familiar. So this is a picture of the flooding, the street flooding that's going on in between the rain bands, in between these intense winds. So it's a little bit of storm surge with this tropical system. All right, I see what you just typed. I don't think I'm going to repeat that. Might offend somebody, anybody that does have PTSD. There is the eye wall. There's some live video that's inside the eye wall. You can see the storm surge coming in right there. Pretty average for Category 1 hurricane, but lots of Wilmington and North Carolina is going to get flooded. So we're going to give credit to these storm chasers, thanking them for their position and their sacrifice to be able to get here and get us some video. This is, let's see, is this Myrtle Beach? Is this South Carolina or North Carolina? The eye wall of Isaiah. Oak Island. Okay, so here we go. This is the episode. This is ground zero for this storm. This is actually Oak Island. So definitely getting a little bit crazy there. Oh boy, let's see. What do we have going on here tonight? Let's just watch this for a little bit right here. Hopefully these guys don't mind. All the credit goes to these storm chasers for this awesome video. What a storm we have tonight. I love being busy, but I don't like seeing bad weather.
Yeah, if that was to come down,
All right.
I think that's too much, though.
Somebody's telling me landfall might have been made already. Not sure where officially, but you're looking live right now at Oak Island, North Carolina, with the storm surge in the center of the eye, well, the eye wall, the outer edge of the eye. That's what you're looking at right now. So, yeah, it's been kind of interesting there tonight, especially with the tornado warnings. That's PD Weather, really great guy in South Carolina. So make sure you go over and give his page a like. He's really good on Twitter. I follow this guy. I think he's somewhere in the PD, like Florence, maybe South Carolina. So he's probably somewhere. Oh no, he went to Oak Island. I keep thinking
Island Way Restaurant?
He's in South Carolina, so he must be doing Myrtle Beach. No, he drove to North Carolina and he went to Oak Island.
There's a gas station.
And it's pretty bad there right now on Oak Island. That's the eye wall of the storm right there.
Middleton Road.
Josh, thank you so much. It looks like landfall has been made. Holden Beach, North Carolina, around 11:30. Again, we're looking at a really great page here on Twitter, PD Weather. I follow them. I live in South Carolina, just south of the border from Charlotte. So, you know, I follow all the things on the south side of all South Carolina, and I picked up this guy, and he's a great forecaster. This guy is out actually chasing in the storm. Mitchell, somebody, I forget his last name. No offense to you, but looking like the storm is going to pack a little bit more of a punch tonight. So they got some storm surge there from North Carolina's Weather Authority. That's this person. Let's see, anything else there? Just a tornado at Leland. Leland's a notable place around Wilmington. They get tornadoes there, even in the summertime with a little storm coming through. So it must be the dynamics of the of the something there. Not sure what. Myrtle Beach. This is 1 hour ago. Some flooding going on here in Myrtle Beach. So definitely some bigger than normal waves crashing up over the barrier, almost spilling into the street there at Myrtle Beach. Definitely not a good night to be out driving. Nothing crazy, but just, you know, some decent surge down there right now. Here's a radar picture of some of the stuff that came through Charlotte today. There was some storms that came through earlier today that just blinded rain down over here in Charlotte. I mean, it was nuts. I had to put my wipers on high. I used my fog lights. I use every light I have on my Mazda to see. I was coming back from an appointment. But this area of rain was really tropical in nature to move through Charlotte today. So we really got soaked over here really good. Me and my buddy, who I used to be in a band with, he's a great drummer, and I went to go over to his house. We were supposed to go play disc golf today. Disc golf, where you golf with a frisbee. And didn't actually happen because the ground was muddy from this stuff over here that moved through our area earlier today. Plenty of rain coming up through Raleigh also today, but more is on the way, but so is some wind damage. So this is a nice time lapse from the National Weather Service Eastern Region headquarters of the storm on basically doing everything up until the past 30 minutes or so from today. So this is a loop from this afternoon up until maybe 30 minutes ago or so. Maybe less, maybe 20 minutes, maybe now, but it's basically what has been happening today. Let's see, any other spots of interest over here? Okay. So this storm is going to cause a lot of damage all the way in the cone, all the way up through southeast Virginia. The Chesapeake Bay is going to get flooded. Probably there's going to be some tidal flooding there in the Chesapeake Bay and the tidewater of Virginia. Anywhere from Poquoson down to Newport News, Virginia Beach is probably going to see some storm surge from this. And you're under a tropical storm warning right now, which is in the blue, which means, look at this. This extends from basically from Morehead City all the way up to maybe Portland, Maine. That's a heck of an extension of real estate, all the way up from the Carolinas up to Maine is what the tropical storm conditions are going to be, and that's I think that's 35 miles an hour or greater sustained winds, meaning that the wind doesn't go below 30, 40, 50 miles per hour. It stays at that the whole time, and then the gusts are what get you. That's the damage. That's like the 75 mile an hour winds that are probably going to happen all the way up through here. Well, okay, Deborah, your husband has a property there, but definitely might want to check up on it after some time goes by in order to be safe, because it's probably not the best conditions to go visit property right now. So let's take a look at the velocity, and we can see these winds right here that are just pounding Oak Island, and probably going to pound Carolina Beach too. Bald Head Island getting it right now. They're getting lit up on the radar like a Christmas tree, so it's blowing pretty good. This is wind. So this is a pretty intense wind going on right there, coming on shore to Oak Island, Bald Head Island, Holden Beach. So we're going to be able to tell if this actually made Category 2 status when it's over. We're going to get some wind measurements here along the coast in this area, and I want to sample that and see how much wind we're talking about. In fact, I think we can. I believe that we can sample that. So we're getting a steady 70 miles per hour. So let's see, anything here offshore. Of course, this the storm's moving this way, like up this way. So the wind is blowing like this across the movement or the direction or the radar beam. So what that means is that we're going to have to do some math and extrapolate. So I mean, on radar it's showing anywhere from like 50 to 70 miles per hour, 70 minus 74 miles an hour is wind that's moving away from the radar. It's pushing on shore, so the wind is heading this way in this direction. So that's probably some 75 mile an hour winds in there, I think, probably down at the surface with some higher gusts. I'm not sure if radar picks up the highest gusts, but those are some decent winds coming ashore right there, and that's what we're looking at. Those purple things are incomplete data, and that's why it gives an RF reading. Let's see, Bald Head Island. You got some decent 70 mile an hour, probably some 75 mile an hour winds there. I don't think that the radar is actually perfect on this. And this is ground zero right here for Hurricane Isaias making landfall. I think he already did. Let me just answer some messages here while we look at a live shot of Isaias moving onshore. Just communicating with Josh. Okay, let's see. Any questions? Definitely ask your questions. So let's see. Yeah, definitely come over here and join the live session, and we'll be talking about the Carolinas anyway. But this is going to be an issue all the way up to Philadelphia and parts of Southeast Virginia as well, Hampton Roads, maybe parts of DC, like maybe the far eastern Maryland, the Maryland suburbs, and the Chesapeake Bay are going to get hit pretty bad. So, all right, let's see. We've been online now for about 46 minutes. I think that normally we would take a break and come back, but I do have some things I have to take care of in the morning. But anyway, this is Oak Island, about 10:08 p.m. So that's about 40. That's almost 40 minutes ago. It's about 38 minutes ago, which is yeah. There's that classic meme. Okay, everybody. So stay up to date on the page. It's getting late, so the updates might not be as frequent. But stay safe out there. That's all we have for you right now. If you would definitely come over to our site and give us some views on our pages. Again, this is going to be major impacts for this storm from basically Wilmington all the way up to Maine, but I only show up to Philadelphia here, so it's going to be bad up through there. It's going to be bad at the coast. It's going to be bad at the Chesapeake. The inner banks are going to get it worse probably than the outer banks, but nobody's completely out of the woods in this area, especially maybe closer to the cone of the impact that I have here. This is going to be a rather large issue. We can take a look over here at the models page on the website. So if you go to our website and click on models, you can actually see all the stuff on here right now. So this is some really good stuff if you want to take a look at this. It looks like Josh might want to go live after me. At 11 o'clock. So if you want to stay on here, he can take over and he can do some other nice sessions for you. So we can take a wider look at the satellite image, and we can see the storm right now starting to tighten up and probably not gaining any more strength. Looks like there was a quick blow up or a flare up right there on satellite before he started to move on shore to Oak Island or Holden Beach. This storm is going to pretty much track up this way, like this, and it's going to curve off like this into the northeast. So that's going to be tomorrow. So it's going to be moving through quickly tonight up to North Carolina, and probably before daybreak, it's going to start to get bad there in Hampton Roads. So be on your toes if you live anywhere in the Hampton Roads area, because that's going to come through a little bit sooner. So I guess it should be all done by 12, and I think that's what they're saying up there from what I see in here. Lots of the places that are of employment are telling people to come in at noon because it should be over by then. I could see that, but you'd be driving over trees and power lines, so I wouldn't recommend going to work. It's up to you. It's going to be your decision. Contact your National Weather Service for the official information on that, or contact your employer. I'm not an official decision maker, so don't use what I said as a as official. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get on any type of models here over on tropicaltidbits.com. Really a great site by Levi Cohen, Dr. Levi Cohen. This site is my go-to, even though I have weather subscriptions to other stuff. I still absolutely love this site. I use it for articles and all that. Give this guy some love. Mean sea level pressure and 10-meter wind. So here's Isaias. Let's zoom in on him. This is where he's supposed to be tonight, and then where he's going to track off to tomorrow. So there's the model. So there's 8 a.m. Tuesday. He's already almost through Hampton Roads. So it's going to be an early thing. Let me tell one of my friends that. It will be before 8 a.m. when it gets bad up there in Hampton Roads. We're looking at the GFS Parallel, which is going to replace the current GFS. This is a model upgrade, and then this will become the primary GFS once the other one is retired. Hopefully digitally shredded into a bin of sadness, because it did not do well at all. People were using the Euro the whole year. I was. All of last year, I was using the Euro, all for the temperature forecast. It looks like it's over just east of Philadelphia by tomorrow afternoon, like maybe around 2 p.m. or so, or lunchtime. He's going to be racing. He's going to make it all the way up into New England by the end of tomorrow, by the end of Tuesday, and then he's all the way up there. So that's going to be a crazy journey that he does. So moving through eastern North Carolina tonight up into Hampton Roads by 8 a.m. tomorrow, and then up into Philly around 2 p.m. And then let's see, we have New Hampshire all the way into New England next year. I'm going to get ready to take a break here, and Josh is going to be going live at 8 p.m. So if you want to, you can actually stick around for him. So I think that this is our live URL. So make sure you stick around, and Josh should be hopping on here in a little bit. Yep, I got people messaging me saying that the hurricane hunters reported 114 mile an hour wind gust. So this could be a borderline category 2, as it is making its way on shore as we speak. And this is going to be 2 a.m. tonight, so he'll be well ashore by the time 2 a.m. rolls around. I wish they had the southeast quadrant on here, but no, they got that. Okay. Looking into tomorrow, this thing takes off quickly. Not going to stick around. It says goodbye. Gone by Tuesday afternoon. He could be a history. For Hampton Roads, with moving through Philly tomorrow afternoon around lunchtime, 2 p.m., 1 p.m., then up into New England by sunset. So this thing is going to be trucking. He's just going to ride I-95 all the way up. That's interesting how that goes. Just following the Interstate 95. Not exactly, but kind of like the same right now. So we're looking at a live radar image right now of looks like the worst wind has just died down. So that's good news. Whatever damage was done, it was probably just done there. So we definitely hope that nothing too bad happened. Looks like there's no warnings or anything right now except the special marine advisory, Sneed's Ferry, Emerald Isle, Surf City, Morehead City, this whole area in between along the beach. It's getting bad there. This is where tornadoes could be tonight. Jacksonville, you're not out of the woods as far as tornadoes, so definitely make sure you keep the there. Yeah, there's over 100 mile an hour gusts tonight, so that's pretty incredible. Definitely the same type of winds as Florence. So this is like another Florence that's moving through. So it's an ice storm. Hey, and these ice storms are bad. So, okay, I'm going to turn it over to Josh here. But we can probably play a little bit of a commercial break. And I think Josh is going to take it over from here. Let's see if there's a way that I can actually shift the live broadcast over to Josh. So let's see. We're looking at live radar right now for Bald Head Island, Carolina Beach, Oak Island, south of Wilmington. So really picture the. Checking through some of the Storm Chaser chats here. Weather Synopsis nailed this forecast. They said at least a 2. This could be close to a 2. It's definitely not within much error. We said it was going to be a 2. That's not crazy too far off either. But then we said it was going to be downgraded to a Category 1. But we were warning people about the possibilities of a Cat 2. And it looks like that might have panned out, or it might have just come short. So we might have just missed it. Let's see, anything else going on? So this is the eyeball once again coming on shore. And I'm just going to leave you all with some live radar here, and I'll let Josh take this over. And I'm wondering if he can somehow. We will take a break here, and Josh should be here in a few minutes. So let's see if we can be able to continue this. If we can, he'll log into here. If not, then we'll see if he can take over or not.
Test. Alright, I got a hot mic over here. Hang on just a second while we get this down a little bit. Alright, how's everybody doing tonight? Sorry for the hissing. I think I'm going to be trading the microphone after this one. Alright, well, let's take a look at the radar here. And this is our center of Hurricane Isaias getting ready to go on shore. I will zoom in and show you what we're looking at. This is the Wilmington radar site right here just west of Charlotte, North Carolina. To orient you, this is southern Brunswick County, and it looks like the eye is right here just to the south of Ocean Isle Beach, and probably going to be making landfall here before midnight. A little bit faster than we thought, but pretty much everything else is kind of playing out pretty well. The National Hurricane Center has it made. Okay. Alright, so if you are watching and you can hear me, please let me know. Joshua Nagelberg here with Carolina Weather Authority, and it's just after 11 p.m. Tuesday night. I'm going to stick with you for a little bit longer here. I'm up in Raleigh, so I'm going to get this weather soon, but right now, just getting some rain outside. And I'm quite alright with that. But anyway, a look at the radar shows our center of Hurricane Isaias getting very close to pushing on shore near Ocean Isle Beach and Holden Island, or Holden Beach, that is, in Brunswick County, North Carolina, so just east of the state line with South Carolina. Looks like the landfall is coming just a little bit Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we get that hissing sound to go away finally. And that was driving me up the wall, I'll tell you what. Alright, you may need to turn the sound up, but I got the hissing to go away, so now I can talk to you guys like a normal human being, and that is so much better. So I am reading along with you guys what the National Hurricane Center has put out with their discussion, and this may seem kind of like Greek to you guys, but basically, the hurricane hunters did measure winds of 135 miles per hour to the east of the center, but that was up at 10,000 feet, and these were not mixed to the surface, is what they're saying. So they estimated that winds reached 85 miles per hour, and it looked like the system peaked in intensity probably about an hour and a half ago, and now looks like it's leveled off and may actually be weakening a little bit. And I'm sure they're going to go back and reanalyze the winds to see how strong this system got. Probably not quite a Category 2 storm, but not far from it. At one point here, maybe about 9:30, 10 o'clock this evening. But it looks like they're holding the wind intensity at 85 miles per hour here at landfall in the next half hour. And then we are going to see some weakening, but it's not going to be a very fast weakening. So those of you well inland tonight are going to see quite a few wind gusts near the coastal waters, but even inland. And because of the strong jet stream interacting with the center of Isaias, we are not going to lose this storm very quickly. It is going to be accelerating and moving away from the region, but it's not going to be necessarily just dying a quick death like we often see with storms that move inland as far as the wind goes. So we've got quite a bit to worry about farther away from the coastline tonight and into the day tomorrow in Virginia. In fact, we are seeing from the Hurricane Center that Isaias is expected to bring widespread sustained tropical storm force winds and hurricane force wind gusts to the mid-Atlantic coast, including the Chesapeake Bay area late tonight and into Tuesday morning. And that could cause widespread tree damage and power outages for coastal sections all the way up to Delaware. And that tropical storm conditions are expected to spread all the way up into the New York City area, New England, late in the day tomorrow, and into early on Wednesday. So as this storm is moving away from us in the morning tomorrow and conditions quickly improve, we'll fortunately have some dry weather where we can get to clean up from what's going on. But those to our north are going to be getting hit just as hard as we have been tonight for coastal sections anyway. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about, as the storm moves inland, we have to be concerned more with some flash flooding and urban flooding. And yes, that could impact areas along riverways, but also places maybe around and just to the east of the triangle could deal with some flooding first thing in the morning tomorrow. So if you have an early start to the day or need to commute, you may want to push that back a little bit in the morning, especially around 6 or 7 a.m. If you're driving to Raleigh. Areas to the east, I think, could be a little bit worse. So I'm a little bit more concerned about places such as, maybe Tarboro, Rocky Mount, Wilson, Greenville, eventually, places like Roanoke Rapids and Richmond, Virginia. Quick responding rivers in the northeast will also be susceptible to minor river flooding. They say minor flooding, meaning, half the area is not going to be underwater, but there will be homes that get damaged by that minor flooding. So if it's your house, it's definitely not minor. So that's what I'm going to say about that. So yes, we've got quite a bit of that. Storm surge we've kind of been talking about for a while. Definitely a danger of life-threatening storm surge, inundation along portions of the immediate coastline from right near the South Carolina-North Carolina border all the way up, including Pamlico and Albemarle Sounds, and even into coastal southeastern Virginia. But yes, I know my microphone volume is very low. That's really weird. Don't know if I can do a whole lot about that at this point. Just to give it a little bit of a boost here without talking right into it. Unless I can mess with the settings here. But again, that's kind of... I don't want to mess with the... Let me see if I can jack up the volume here just a little bit more for you guys. All right, how does that sound? give it about 5 decibels here, maybe 6 decibels gain. Let's go 10 decibels. All right. I'm going to try, here we go, get it up towards the yellow here with a 10 decibel gain. How's that sound? I would love to stick some bass into this, but it's just, it's a very basic microphone. Not really ready to go live, if I could be real with y'all. But I'm going to give it a little bit more juice here. It's better than the hissing sound we were getting earlier, that's for sure. Let me see if I can get about 20 decibels of gain here, and if that works out well for y'all, just let me know. All right. Austin McCabe just sent us a gnarly video from Wilmington. Lightning striking next to your house. I really hope you were inside, Austin. I'm a lightning guy coming from the golf industry. So I'm glad you're here to type this, because certainly certainly could have been worse. But I'm going to go ahead and play that video for you guys. Hey Mike, hopefully you can hear me now. That's my weather page, by the way. Let's go to Carolina Weather Authority. That was my audition for Carolina Weather Authority. Let's have a look here. Let's see if Austin's video is online. And let's see. Community maybe is where we find these videos. Let's have a look here. Visitor photos. I really hope this is you guys. That looks like snow. Ha! I would love to see some snow right now. We didn't really get much. Alright, weird. I'm trying to play your video, Austin, and I can't. And maybe I need to get a Mac like Mike has. I've got a home-built computer. Let's see here. Let me give this a little bit more juice as well, so y'all can hear me just a bit better here. Let's give it about 30 decibels of gain, so I don't have to yell into the microphone. Actually, let's do 25. We're hitting the reds over here. Yeah. Reminds me of my old days of all on Messenger. Okay. We're gonna find that for you, Austin. All right. Hopefully things sound a lot better. So I'm going into the inbox. I'm hoping there's not any hate mail. Come on, people. All right. Let's see. Hey, Austin, I can see your message, but I can't see the video. Let me keep looking a little bit harder. Messenger, maybe? No. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Mike has it. He's taking a break. He's had a long day as well. But yeah, if you want to post it as a comment maybe on our latest post, that'd be great. Just say where you're from, and that way we can take a look at it here on our Facebook page. We appreciate you being safe, but also kind of doing what I did when I was younger, and that's chase every storm I could. Now I've got a family, a wife, and a child, and that doesn't look quite as smart. Not to mention with my my career in lightning warning, that wouldn't go too well with my colleagues and customers, if that makes sense. But I definitely like a good lightning show. At this point, we're more worried about wind and surge and rain and, of course, tornadoes overnight tonight. And I am going to look at some of the comments here and see if I can respond to any of them. All right, so it is pouring in Vietnam. Yes, and we're starting to get that up in Raleigh. My rain gauge for the day is 0.82 inches of rain, which is really nothing compared to some of the storms we had blow up on us here last week in Raleigh. We had a 2 or 3 inches. Deborah agrees I should not go storm chasing. Deborah, I am with you. Your niece needs a daddy. And maybe when we're older and we know what we're doing, we can get the Dominator with Reed Timmer and go out and do that. But right now, we're going to be smart. Austin, if you want to send that video onto our email, it is, let me make sure I say it right on here. It is cwxauthority@gmail.com. Let me write that in for you. Or actually, I'm going to message it over to you. All right, messages. Oh, here it is. Okay. Awesome, we have your video right here, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. Let me get some sound. Whoa! That sounded loud over here, and I don't even have my speakers cranked up. We're going to watch it one more time. Let me see if I can make this bigger on my screen. This video is from Austin McCabe in Wilmington. And let's watch it. Looks like it's not too windy there just yet. Oh, that is heart-stopping. I'm going to see if I can hit the pause button on that strike. Let's see. I'm going to try and slow it down just a bit. Just so you guys that think it's smart to go hurricane hunting, this will maybe send you back down to earth. Let me see if I can... Oh, alright, there it is. It was lightning fast. Oop! Hold on. Check this baby out. Oh man. So you didn't quite get the strike on video, but we can see the illumination from it, and you can see those clouds behind it are pretty high. So yes, I would advise against those people that stand on the beach like the Jim Cantoris of the world, who are filming live these hurricanes as they're coming on shore because of reasons just like what Austin has shared with us, and that is a lightning strike across the street basically from him. Looks like maybe a couple doors down from him. So that's one of the many perils of these tropical systems. They bring a lot of electricity with them. They bring tornadoes with them. They bring storm surge, of course, at the beaches. A lot of flooding rain, and of course the wind, which can cause a ton of damage. But I think the main ways you can get killed in a tropical system are from storm surge enveloping your home and drowning you, and from tornadoes, from lightning, and from inland flooding. Flooding ends up being what kills the most people from these storms. Of course, winds can do it as well. If you're outside or even near a window and that wind penetrates the window and causes something to fly through it like a debris missile, then of course a very serious situation. This storm is probably not going to get to that strength to where it's going to do that, but I'm not going to rule it out either. It's a big storm, but I think the more problem for us is the coastal flooding from the storm surge, the power outages, and then the inland flooding we're probably going to see over the next 24 hours. Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys can hear me. I had to experiment with it. I'm going to look at upgrading my microphone. I think that's going to make life easier for me. What you guys don't see is that I often do videos for YouTube about 5 times before the level comes out sounding good. And that's a pretty good time kill. And I've got a full-time career and a family here to tend to as well. So that's frustrating, but a lesson learned in how to get the best technology to do the job the best. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But Austin, we appreciate you sharing this video with us. That's some scary stuff. Holy smokes. I'm even going to respond to that right now. But let's get back to what's going on right now. We're going to check the radar. And seeing from my friend Gannon, we went to Penn State together. He's one of the lead meteorologists at WECT in Wilmington, North Carolina. This video of looks like a storm squall coming through Wilmington, right through the eastern eye wall between Wilmington and Carolina Beach. It looks like the power went out in those places as well. So, I think that's Gannon's video, actually. That may be where he lives. I'm not really sure. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this to the Carolina Weather Authority on YouTube. Make it a little bit bigger for y'all. Alright. So ignore the junk on the right. This is from Gannon Medwick, meteorologist at WECT. Okay, we're not going to watch that. Awkward, but anyway, I don't know why my computer's doing that to me, but because that's definitely not stuff I look at every day, that's for sure. Let's get back to the radar, though, and take a look at what's going on. And it looks like our storm is now beginning to make landfall. Let me zoom in and show you where. So we were thinking it was going to be near Calabash on the state line. Looks like it's a little farther east, maybe right over Holden Beach is where landfall is occurring. And this is the inner eye wall. It doesn't have the kind of wind that the outer eye wall has. But Wilmington's getting that eye wall right now. And I'm actually going to look at my computer to see. I've got a weather station over there for a customer of mine near the coast in Wilmington to see what they're showing. My guess is probably not nearly as much wind as we saw further down the coast here a little while ago. So let's take a look here. And I can't share it with you guys, unfortunately, since it's kind of in-house. But we are seeing just a second while I pull that information up on my other computer here. North wind at 87 miles per hour. And that is in the landfall area of Wilmington. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Pretty impressive. So yeah, we're seeing an 87 mile per hour wind on the roof of a building near the coast in Wilmington, North Carolina. That is probably the strongest unofficial wind gust I've seen outside of Frying Pan Shoals, which is just off of Cape Fear, Bald Head Island down here, which did report 102 mile per hour wind gust, but that's kind of up on a platform as well. So, very interesting stuff, by the way. I need to send something off to a coworker, so just kind of bear with me and check out the radar. I'm going to put it in motion. Pretty impressive. So yeah, 87 miles per hour wind through this part of the right eye wall over Wilmington. That looks like it was probably just outside of Wrightsville Beach, maybe right up in here, off a Military Cutoff Road, for those of you who are familiar with the Wilmington area. So northeast Wilmington, 87 mile per hour wind. That is going to be heading up the beach towards Topsail Island. So we have to be alert for that. But these kind of winds are going to hold together tonight inland, which is a point I'd like to make with you guys. And I need to send a note to my wife too, so I'll keep talking to you guys. Mike says he can't hear me. That's because I stopped talking. All right. But anyway, I think the storm is making landfall. Let's see if we have an update from the National Hurricane Center. And can you guys hear me? Let me make sure I've got my level good for you. Yeah, it's popping up toward the red. Okay, that's good. Let's see. I'm expecting a landfall update any second now. Yeah, here it is, 11:15. Doppler radar imagery and surface observations indicate that the eye of Hurricane Isaias made landfall near Ocean Isle Beach at 11:10. That's about 14 minutes ago. with maximum sustained winds of 85 miles per hour. A weather station at Oak Island recently reported sustained winds of 76 miles per hour and a gust to 87 miles per hour. And the pressure was 988 millibars, which really isn't that low. If those of you who know hurricanes, typically a storm with this much wind would have a pressure below 980 millibars. But the reason we have seen the wind come up and the pressure not really drop quite a bit has to do with how it's interacting with a trough aloft, with a jet stream amount of energy to the west. Often you see winds enhanced by stronger winds aloft from a jet stream, and that's not really a tropical process. It's called a baroclinic interaction, and if you're really bored, you can go look that up. But basically what it means is that the wind is not coming out of the tropics so much as it's coming from a cooler air aloft, coming from a trough. So really interesting meteorology, I think, anyway. It may not interest you guys too much. But anyway, I wanted to provide you guys with the update that the storm did make landfall. I'll be honest, it was about an hour and a half earlier than I thought, and about maybe 5 miles east of where I thought it would be. Still not too bad, though. I mean, if you can forecast landfall within 5 miles, then I think you're doing all right. Just my opinion, my humble opinion. How does that sound? But I'm going to post this to our Facebook page just so people know. But here in Raleigh, we're getting close to an inch of rain for the day, which I'm okay with, as long as it doesn't get any worse than that. So at my house, we ended the month of July. This is in Garner, North Carolina, which those of you who know the Triangle, the Raleigh area. We had just over 10 inches of rain, and a lot of that came in just 2 thunderstorms. So that's what we're messaging my family right now. Cool. Can I run it again? The picture just streamed in. Yeah. Alright, let me pull up the radar again. So now we have landfall, and it looks like it was near Ocean Isle Beach, which is right here between the state border and Holden Beach in southwestern Brunswick County. And the storm is not in a hurry to weaken. That's one point I do want to make to you guys. Also, for those of you in eastern North Carolina, we do now have a tornado warning in effect. That is for central Craven and southwestern Pamlico County until 11:45. Radar indicated storm near Neuse Forest moving to the north at 55 miles per hour could produce a tornado. Farther north, we do have a tornado warning just south of Elizabeth City. For south central Pasquotank and southeastern Perkins counties, and that storm moving to the northwest at 35 miles per hour on the looks like it's going to pass by pretty close to the U.S. Coast Guard station there and Elizabeth City State University, pretty much just south of downtown Elizabeth City. The rest of the radar right now just shows some moderate rain just starting to make its way up to the US 64 corridor, Wilson getting some rain. Raleigh's been getting rain for a while, and I think this area here is going to actually see the heaviest amount of rain overnight. So if you take a line west of I-95 and draw it from like Fayetteville up to Johnston County, maybe even the east side of Raleigh and Wake County, and then getting into Nash, Edgecombe counties, farther south through Wilson area, Smithfield, maybe getting down to just the east side of Fayetteville. This whole area right here, I'm actually going to circle it for y'all right now, I think stands the best chance of having flooding rainfall overnight, as this circulation is going to be moving in this direction. But what we're going to see basically along the track of the storm are going to be the strongest winds, but to the east of the storm track, we'll see the tornado threat enhanced overnight tonight. To the west of the storm track, we won't have as much wind, and we definitely won't have tornadoes, but we will have are potentially very heavy rainfall amounts, perhaps in the upwards of 4 to 6 inches of rain. That could impact places like Fayetteville, could impact Zebulon, Smithfield, Clayton, North Carolina, and then farther up toward maybe Roanoke Rapids, Norlina, Henderson, those areas, up toward Lake Gaston. We definitely have the threat of some flooding, and it's going to come pretty quickly in maybe a 3-hour frame. From, say, about 2 in the morning until 5 or 6 in the morning as the storm is passing by to our east. So that's something to keep in mind as well. The rivers are going to rise fairly quickly out of this rain that we're getting. So the Tar and the Neuse rivers definitely concern me for some flooding. And they may not even come out of their banks right away. It may take a few days for that to even happen, depending on how much rain comes down the river from Virginia, from the higher elevations. But basically, we are going to keep you posted on the watches and warnings now that Isaias is moving inland. The storm is not really weakening yet, but it should slowly die down and be down to a tropical storm, I think, by about 2 or 3 in the morning. At that point, it's going to be getting close to Kinston and Goldsboro. So most of the hurricane force winds will be to the east of the center of that track, closer to the water, maybe in places like New Bern and Jacksonville. So those are places we have to be concerned with getting hurricane force winds. So I'm going to open things up to you guys for any questions. All right. So yeah, now's the time for me to remind you guys, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for that. We want to continue to have subscribers so that we can not only grow our reach and get more people basically to see what's going on in live motion like we see right now, like you would see on television. But also it helps us to have better ways of getting a hold of you in the event of major weather without having to spend a couple minutes more to share it to our Facebook page. So if you're subscribed to YouTube, you will get the notification on your phone or on your desktop. You can open up the video, and that way somebody doesn't lose a minute or two. Somebody like Mike or I doesn't lose a minute or two sharing with you that information, because that could be very critical, especially in a fast-evolving storm like we're seeing right now. But anyway, the eye of Isaias has just passed Charlotte, North Carolina. Let me take off the drawings I made. The radar here is very close to Charlotte. Looks like it is now just inland to the north of Holden Beach and to the northeast of Charlotte, and moving north-northeast at just over 20 miles per hour. But the strongest winds are over the eastern eye wall right now, impacting places like Topsail Beach, Murraysville, Kirkland, areas basically on the north side of New Hanover and in the southeast side of Pender County. And pretty soon that'll be heading up into Onslow County as well. So it's not the prettiest storm on radar, but it definitely picked up steam earlier tonight, in the few hours leading up to landfall. The reason it did that is because the wind shear finally weakened, and that was a wind shear it had been dealing with since it had been moving by to the east of Florida. Also, the waters are still pretty warm over the Gulf Stream, and then in the last hour or two, we lost those warm waters and we saw land but the jet stream has actually interacted with our system and kept the strong winds going. So this is kind of a rare situation where you have a Category 1 storm strengthening up until landfall and still holding its own right now. It's not going to be dying off very quickly tonight at all. In fact, it may still be a hurricane by 5 in the morning with those strong winds pretty much right near the core of the storm and also towards the coastal waters. It's probably cutting in and out because I stopped talking so I could type. But let me know if you guys can still hear me. What I'm going to do is see if we can find some Twitter videos from Oak Island that I can share with you guys. So apparently here's some of the winds that we're seeing at 11:10. Wind gusts up to 61 miles per hour on Oak Island. That's after we had a gust of 86. 56 in Wilmington, but I actually measured an 87 closer to the coast. 25 in Jacksonville. So you can see the area of these really strong winds is kind of confined to a small area just away from the center of the storm over the outer eye wall. When you get farther north, those winds are not impacting places like Raleigh, which is some good news because we don't need to be seeing 50, 60 mile an hour wind all night. We'll probably just get that kind of wind for a 30 or 45 minute period. So not super windy out there due to the size of the storm, but definitely when it does hit us, it will be pretty rough. And I'm looking for other videos. It's always fun watching people's home videos. So one person's home was destroyed at Oak Island. Hate to see that, but again, strong tropical storm, weak hurricane can do that. And I'm looking for more videos if I can find any. Okay, so here's a video to share with you guys from Oak Island. I think this is probably somebody's security camera. You can see that storm surge coming in, though. And that is unfortunately going to cause some damage to some people's garages here. I do see a house up on stilts, so that's a good thing. I see a couple garages over here. So it doesn't look pretty for those folks, unfortunately. And that's the necessary evil of living at the beach. You have to worry about hurricanes. Anyway, I'm going to pan out of this video and see if I can find any more Isaias videos to share with you guys. And you're going to get the good and the bad over here. I am seeing reports of trees down in the road in Wilmington. This is from actually our local weather station, WRAL in Raleigh. And this is probably from those 80-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts that we saw reported towards the coast in Wilmington a little while ago. Let's see if I can find anything else. So I am seeing a report from Jeff Piotrowski. Not really sure who that is. I'm going to see. He's a storm chaser and TEDx speaker. But a report here of home and building fires on the beach and blocked by a storm surge of 2 to 6 feet over the roads near the coast. A number of people are trapped on second floors of their homes. My guess is this is probably when that eye wall was coming on shore about an hour ago. So this whole area from Oak Island over the Bald Head Island, unfortunately people who rode out the storm are now seeing what can happen quickly with an intensifying storm right up to landfall. Pretty scary stuff. Here is another video. I'm going to rewind it for you guys.
As it's happening, folks. Wow. This is the house.
Looks like somebody's basement, maybe.
In
Nest
Oak
cam.
Island.
Got water in their
I think
basement.
there's somebody staying there,
Ouch.
too. And this is getting hit by ocean. This is live as it's happening, folks. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is live from our unmanned camera. That's the ocean right there. Waves coming in. The eye is coming over, hopefully, and this will start to abate. Look at that foam. Oh my goodness. Anybody who has cars down there, they are in big trouble. This is the house in Oak Island. I think there's somebody staying there too. And this is getting hit by ocean. This is live as it's happening, folks. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is live from our unmanned camera. That's the ocean right there. Waves coming in. The eye is coming over, hopefully, and this will start to abate. Look at that foam. Oh my goodness. Anybody who has
All
cars
right.
down there, they are in big.
So let me see if show you guys the latest radar here. We do have a tornado warning, which will expire here in 4 minutes. That looks like it's actually already been expired, or maybe canceled. Tornado warning up in the Elizabeth City area. I think the main threat for tornadoes tonight is going to be in this general area. Basically, well, it's probably already passing Wilmington, but now looking at Jacksonville, Havelock, New Bern, Kinston, Greenville. Probably not all the way over to Rocky Mount Wilson, but maybe getting close there. But I think more in this section, we're going to see some tornadoes tonight. And that's just a reminder to you guys, maybe if you're not from those areas, but if the situation were impacting you, it's always a great idea to have a weather radio handy or to leave your phone on at night so that you can get alerted to storms in the middle of the night that could quickly spin up tornadoes, because they can cause enough damage to inflict bodily harm on you, even in a tropical system. We could see tornadoes producing winds over 100 miles per hour. But currently the circulation of Isaias is still holding pretty strong and moving just past Charlotte, North Carolina, across southeastern parts of Brunswick County. Okay, we do have a new tornado warning just came out for the Elizabeth City area. And that tornado is right in town, moving northwest at 35 miles per hour. I'm kind of curious to see what it's doing. There's some weather stations that I have my hands on over that way. And just a second, I'm pulling up some data on my laptop over here. But yeah, looking at some interesting data coming out of Elizabeth City. Not a whole lot of lightning around, but definitely some rotation on radar there. But anyway, we'll take a look at it. I can hear the rain picking up at my house in Garner. We have now gotten over an inch of rain today alone, and that number is going to reset here in 18 minutes. But I'm expecting a storm total at my house in Garner, probably about 3.5 or 4 inches of rain. So those of us inland, we may not really be getting the wind just yet, but we're definitely getting the rain, and it's not pretty out there. It's been a very wet couple of weeks. The rivers are climbing. We've had a lot of rain out on the Neuse River to our east. The Tar River, I think, has had a lot of rain as well recently. So this is one of those scenarios. I'm not going to go all Matthew on you guys. Matthew, we had flooding in Fayetteville and those areas because it rained so much in the weeks leading up to it. But the rivers are still fairly high, so it's not going to take a foot of rain to get some flooding going. Maybe just 3 or 4 inches in the right spots. So this could definitely turn into an inland flooding problem here in North Carolina and also farther north up into Virginia later on during the morning hours. But yeah, current radar shows the eye wall now moving away from Wilmington. I am going to pull up some wind velocity data. This may look a little bit foreign to you guys, but I'm going to slow it down and explain it to you. So the radar doesn't just measure how much rain is falling and where it's falling and how intense it is. It also can measure wind. And I was watching this earlier with very intense wind coming onshore. So the greens are actually circulating towards the radar site, which is right here, while the reds are going away from the radar. So you can see the center of the storm just came past the radar because there's not a whole lot of wind in here. And you probably can't see these numbers, but I'm seeing some pretty light, calm wind. But near Oak Island, the radar's still picking up 40 to 50 mile per hour wind, and that's probably 1,000 feet up. In Wilmington, things have calmed down already for the time being, but with the band of rain away from the radar, we're still seeing some winds offshore in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. And then we're seeing what looks like maybe some rotation on radar, which will be coming on shore the Crystal Coast here in the next 30 minutes. So near Morehead City and Emerald Isle, we have to watch out for tornadoes. It's this area right here. We can actually see some lightning strikes. Let me zoom that in for you. Definitely still some thunderstorm convection offshore, and as this lifts off to the north-northwest, places like Atlantic Beach, Indian Beach, and Emerald Isle have to be on the lookout for water spouts, which can turn into tornadoes very quickly. So if you are watching from that area of North Carolina, be prepared for tornado warnings here in the next hour or two. Definitely something that concerns me. The storm surge will be something as well to worry about, but I think tornadoes quickly spinning up could be a locally more urgent issue, if that makes sense. Let me bring the radar back on, and here we go. But my stream is about a minute behind here, just so you guys know. Maybe it's actually 3 minutes behind. So I'm going to take a break and let it catch up and find some more data for you guys. Okay, so I do want to show you guys we now have a flash flood warning in effect for the areas I talked about that are probably going to get that heavy rain. Wayne County, Sampson County, Harnett County, Cumberland County, Johnston County until 5:45 a.m. 1 to 2 inches of rain has already fallen, and we're looking at the threat